The Democratic Party has published a document proving that Valdrin Pietri was convicted of drug trafficking in Italy, with Guzman Bardi noting that Rama was aware of this when he listed him as a candidate for the mayor of Shkodra. The new justice institutions will start operating in September. The United States Embassy posted on Facebook to declare that Albanians will now have the opportunity to benefit from fair, impartial and apolitical justice. Only a week remains before the session to dissolve Kosovo's parliament, and as such the opposition parties are coordinating political action, while the outgoing Prime Minister Haradinaj remains hopeful of being re-elected. It's 6 o'clock on Tuesday, the 12th of August 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The biggest story this evening: Shkodra remains one of the last cities where the mayor's rotation has not been made, and an area that has become a major focus of political debate. The Democratic Party has released a document accusing Valdrin Pietri, elected as mayor of Shkodra in the June 30 elections, of having been refused permission to enter Italy back in 2003. The document also contains the name of Altin Doda, who is the coordinator of Unit 3 in the capital and the son of a former Socialist Party minister. The Democratic Party General Secretary Guzman Bardi says that Pietri has even signed a guilty plea. On 28th of January 2003, before the court, Valdrin Pietri admitted to being guilty of committing the crime, signing an agreement for his immediate conviction under the Italian Penal Code. He was convicted by the Florence court in a final decision dated 12 June 2003, sentenced to 18 months in prison and a fine of €1,000 for the offence of distribution, production and trafficking of narcotic drugs and other illegal psychotropic substances conducted in collaboration. Because of a plea agreement, the court ordered the suspension of the sentence. On 3 February 2003, Valdrin Pietri had his residence permit revoked, and on the 4th of February 2003, he was deported from the Italian state, said Bardi. According to Guzman Bardi, under these conditions, Pietri could not run, as the law on decriminalisation prohibits it. All this evidence proves that Valdrin Pietri is subject to a ban on exercising a public function by the decriminalisation law. According to the decriminalisation law, you are deemed ineligible to be elected as mayor if you have been sentenced to imprisonment in a final decision for the offence of production, sale and trafficking of narcotics, or if you have been expelled from a territory of a European Union member state. This is the case whether or not the decision is issued by Albanian or international justice authorities. Such circumstances are found in the case of Valdrin Pietri and Italy in connection with these penal offences, stated Bardi. In a statement to the media, Bardi also publicised the views of Prime Minister Rama in support of Pietri, as well as the denial that the elected official in Shkodra made to the opposition. Meanwhile, Talon Bala via Facebook stressed that this is a political attack and that the justice institutions should react. He stated that the Socialist Party will stand by any decision made by law enforcement. September will be a month for justice, given the expectation that the new bodies of justice will be set up and functioning. The US Embassy in Tirana published a video illustrating that soon Albania will have a constitutional court with a qualified, impartial and apolitical set of judges. A few days ago, the Justice Appointment Council interviewed the first 6 candidates, seeking out the 4 available seats in the Constitution. And within 10 days of being evaluated and scored, the Justice Appointment Council will issue their shortlist to Parliament and the President. The US Embassy showed how the selection and qualification of members of the Constitutional Court changes with justice reform. After the assessment of the Justice Appointment Council, it will be Mehta and Ruchi who will select from the listings. However, unlike the previous system where the head of state had to agree with the Assembly in order to appoint a member, now with this new reform, this requirement has been removed. According to the American diplomatic mission, politics will no longer affect the Constitutional Court selection, as it will be rotated between the Parliament, the President and the High Court. The Embassy emphasises that the President and Parliament can no longer block this court, since under the new system, even if these 2 institutions do not make a selection, the top-ranked candidate from the list created by the Justice Appointment Council is automatically selected. Justice reform, stresses the Embassy, avoids long-standing gaps in the functionability of the Constitutional Court and does not allow any person ultimate power over the selection process. The formation of a functional Constitutional Court is eagerly awaited by Albanian citizens who are keen to resolve issues such as the President's dismissal, the June 30th election and the law on the National Theatre. The bank accounts of opposition MPs are suffering as a result of the parliamentary boycott. Lulzim Basha's allies need to repay home loans and education loans despite taking a huge hit to salaries. Fatmir Mediu, the Republican Party chair, managed to earn about €26,000 as an MP during 2018. According to the Wealth Declaration form, his income is mainly derived from bank interest and his salary as an MP, as well as the sale of a vehicle worth €7,000. Mediu paid €2,400 last year toward a loan, for which he has a remaining outstanding balance of €18,000. Meanwhile, another United Opposition ally, Nard Ndoka, has managed to pay off a loan of €16,500 taken out in 2016, but is still paying off a loan borrowed in the same year to the value of €35,000. The income of the leader of the Demo-Christian Party of Albania dropped by €2,600 in 2018, although his annual income remained almost twice as high as that of Fatmir Mediu. His salary as MP and bank interest earned Vanjel Dule €26,000, but he also spent to pay off loan instalments, which have a remaining balance of €10,500. Basha's ally also received a study loan from a British non-profit organisation worth €10,000. The only individual from the United Opposition who does not have to think about bank payments is Dashamir Shehi. Thanks to his property portfolio and his work as an MP and teacher, Shehi has not had to take out loans to meet his family's needs. During 2018, he earned a comfortable €32,000 to contribute towards his family budget. Opposition parties, the Democratic League of Kosovo and the Vetëvendosje movement, are giving signs of a possible formation of a government coalition after the autumn elections. At the end of the private meeting between the leaders of the two groups, Albin Kurti advised that he and his counterpart, Isa Mustafa, had left behind old divisions to benefit the political and economic situation in the country and ultimately to allow the country to emerge from the current crisis in a decisive vote next week. On August 22, our two parliamentary groups will be fully constituted to dissolve the Assembly and pave the way for new democratic elections. We concluded that hope is now being restored to the citizens for a future with justice and progress, said Albin Kurti. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister in duty, Ramush Haradinaj, has not hidden his desire for a new mandate. Through social networks, he denounced the making of political compromises and indirect attack on the two largest opposition groups. Subjugation to personal and group interests compromises integrity and creates unsustainable policies that conflict with vital national interests, which result in tragic consequences for our country and our future, said Haradinaj. Meanwhile, early elections dominate the political party's agenda in Pristina. The future Prime Minister's challenge remains addressing the status quo with Serbia. In a joint statement, 5 diplomats of the United States, France, Germany, Italy and the United Kingdom appealed to both Pristina and Belgrade to remove bilateral obstacles such as tariffs and non-recognition campaigns, and to instead engage in dialogue led by the European Union as soon as possible. The Property Registration Office will keep its counters open even during the weekend. The Director of the State Agency for Property Registration in Durrës, Liridon Pula, says that this measure is to help migrants who have returned on vacation. Priority is given to this category in terms of the procedures they have to perform, with also the ability to request a fast-track service which is guaranteed to be completed within 24 hours of payment. Due to the arrival of emigrants returning to the homeland in July and August, on the order of the General Director, we are prioritising the 2005-2006 self-declaration practices, said Pula. A new process has been adapted, allowing ownership certificates to be organised online and ultimately speeding up turnaround times and reducing the risk of abuse, according to Pula. No more handwritten certificates for citizens. For 2.5 months, every application that has been submitted has been done so through computer processing. The merger of Aluizni and the State Property Management Agency into the Property Registration Office has proved effective and has led to the centralisation of property issues. The services provided earlier by these institutions have already been centralised and all property problems will go through to a single administration. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.